I keep getting requests to review Jack, and today is going to be the pulled pork. Fingers crossed. I'm not going to make any promises. The last couple videos haven't been that bad, but there's always a possibility. Now, let's get started.
Here's why I'm excited, okay? I'm making pulled pork sandwiches.
Jack's in a new house today. This is a more modern video as well, so it's not that old. Pulled pork it is. Product review as well, I see. Okay, let's see how this goes.
And if I can make pulled pork sandwiches indoors with the New Wave oven, then that means I'm gonna be barbecuing this winter.
I lived in the Northwest. I haven't lived in Colorado and I haven't lived in Alaska. So obviously, you know, where it gets a lot of snow and it's very cold in the winter. But we still get snow in Washington a couple times during the year and we have ice storms. But even in the winter, I barbecue. That's how it is. You just put on a winter coat, you go outside and you barbecue. And you know, to be honest, I actually prefer barbecuing in the winter than summer because it's cold in the winter. So the barbecue keeps you warm.
We're gonna be able to use this to get exactly what we want out of that. So let's get ready. I'm gonna run down the ingredients real fast and then we're gonna start seasoning the meat and get it all ready, okay? First thing we got is ground sage, granulated onion.
Coffee.
Yes, that's right. The magic ingredient, it is coffee.
He's going to be doing a dry rub with coffee. Okay, I mean, you can do dry rubs with coffee. It's not a problem. But pulled pork with the dry rub coffee. This honestly feels like a more online recipe, doesn't it? That he took from somewhere.
I've never done it before. I'm experimenting, as I always do.
Good.
Okay, garlic,
Experimenting.
granulated.
Love it.
Ground chili powder, some smoked paprika, which you guys know I love, and a little bit of cinnamon. You know, I kind of thought, do I want to oil this? But it's sticky wet already from its own juices, so I'm going to season this part first.
Now, if you're going to be using pork butt, pork shoulder, whatever you're going to be using to make pulled pork, make sure that you remove the fat cap because you don't want too much fat with your pork.
Get this all rubbed in.
No!
Sides rubbed.
What's he doing? All right, first of all, my bad. Jack, it did look like he actually mixed the dry rub together, all right? But he skipped that step completely. When doing this, remove your rings because they will get dirty. And it's not easy trying to get the little dry rub out from under your rings. But more importantly, the bacteria that's on the beef or the pork or whatever you're gonna be touching.
I don't want to waste too much on this side because I got to do the other side too.
3, 2, 1.
So make sure you get all the sides, okay? There we go. There we go. All right, now we're going to move this over to here. And I'm going to flip this onto this. There we go. Right like that.
It's okay if you have a little fat, all right? This is okay. It'll flavor it. It'll add flavor to it. But you don't want a lot of fat because when you go to shred it, it's just going to be blubber. I'm only 1 minute into the video and I've already had to stop it like 5 or 6 times. So I'll see where this video is going.
Now this last bit, we want to make sure we get into this.
Jack.
Into the cracks.
My God, he added a lot of black pepper to that, didn't he?
I'm going to sit here.
Or maybe it's the coffee grounds. It looks like black pepper.
All right. So now it's time to wrap this.
3, 2, 1.
There. You know what? I'm going to leave this overnight.
At least it's overnight. It's not going to be 14 months in the freezer.
I cooked it for 12 hours. This is leftovers. Is that a work of art? Can you see that? Look at that outer crust there. It's just gorgeous.
That brisket was 14 months, he said, or maybe it was 16, in the freezer.
Woo! Yeah! Okay, so we're gonna try out a new device on this video too. As we're cooking the pulled pork, I have a new thermometer. Now I've done a million thermometers on the show. I feel like I've done a ton of them. But this one seems to be the best as it's only $29.95 and it comes with an app. So the company sent it to me to try out.
It's amazing that even Jack can get all these sponsorships. Like, it really is. Because these companies are putting their products in his hands. But the meat claws, really, honestly, the meat claws, it's like you can't get a couple forks and just shred it apart.
Okay, we got a little problem here. As I'm going to hook this up, I'm like, okay, well, there's the wire. What is this thing for? And then I come to find out it's not a Bluetooth thermometer.
Oh, it kind of looks like you need to put it in a jack. Jack. Sorry, morning joke, right? But technically, you do plug that into a jack.
You have to keep your phone plugged into it.
Oh.
Why would you ever
No.
expect me to keep my phone plugged into the thermometer for 6+ hours or however long I'm cooking my meat? Why would you ever think that I would want to walk around the house or do other things without my phone in my pocket, that I can make phone calls or look things up on the internet or text people? So we're going to try this anyway, because I told them I would give it a try and see how it works. And but yeah, guys.
Yeah, but the thing is that if it's a direct connect, it says on the label, by the way, direct connect thermometer. You know what he probably did when he saw the sponsorship? He didn't read the details and he didn't check it out. He just accepted it. So they sent it to him. And he didn't read the label, which is on the bloody label right there, direct connect, until he made the video and he figured it out. That's funny.
Plug it into my phone. It's not a real long plug, but I'll show you what it looks like. Plugged it in. Oh, there it is. 42 degrees.
Oh my goodness. It's glass too. You have to be so careful with this. If that thing breaks, it's going to break into a million little shards. You can tell what happens when you smoke something. You can see how it tints the glass, unless it's already tinted. Just imagine when you smoke all those cigarettes. My great aunt actually passed away from lung cancer, and it wasn't that she ever smoked, but she was around it all the time.
And I can set my target temperature.
Oof.
And then it'll give me a graph and everything else. I can add notes. It's a pretty nice app. I like the design of it. Very simple.
It is nice, except for the fact that you have to leave your phone next to the cooker for 10 hours. That's the only problem. Like if you want to, I don't know, use your phone, check TikTok, look at YouTube.
So I have it at 250. I'm going to start low and slow and see how that goes time-wise with this convection heat going on. All right, so 250 degrees right now. I'll have all the final numbers and times down below. But for right now, I'm starting it low, and we're going to let this go.
We're going to start this low, and I'm going to let it go. I know, it's early morning. I'm normally like this in the morning. Forgive me, yeah?
Okay, I just want to show you. I have it plugged into my iPad, and it's been working for the past 2 hours. And now it's telling me it has no signal. Please check the cooking probe or the battery. All right, I checked the battery. I replugged it in. It still says no signal. I've tried to get it to
Oh my
see
goodness.
it again. Every time I
We're having an issue with it.
Here. Hold on.
Oh my goodness. It's a fail with the product review. It's not
Please
even
check the
working,
cooking
is
probe.
it?
Okay, here's the deal. This thing just failed on me within the middle of a cook. When I pull the probe out, it's not going back in. I have to now swap out the probe because this thing is failed on me. Everything's connected. You can see the wiring right there. It hasn't moved. It's been working for 2 hours, and you can see it goes right in there. Very high quality wiring, and the probe's in there in the middle of that meat. So bottom line is this thing has just failed on me.
Now see, this is the important thing. When a company asks you to review a product, you have to like filter them. So this company asked Jack to review their product, and their product failed on them during the middle of a cook. I mean, why make a product and then not even make sure that it can finish a cook? You have to check it more than once.
We're almost at 145. We're at 143 right now. I'm going to flip this for the last part of this cooking process. Take it to 160. Oh, come on.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Boning. Ooh, it's a little burnt there.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
So just kind of lay a piece of foil over the top so we don't get the...
Normally you lay the foil over the top if you want to prevent direct heat from hitting the food. This is to prevent burning.
I'm going to do that right now. We'll get it back to cooking. There we go. Turn it and start. Voila. All right, 160 it is. You ready? There it is.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is fully done. Yeah? Because normally when you put the thermometer, you need to put it in the thickest part. It can't touch the bone, right? This is important, can't. But the bone has to be cooked. What do you want to bet? That this pulled pork is not fully cooked. Let's see if I'm right. If I'm right, you guys have to subscribe and like the video. And share.
Didn't want it to get any darker. It's weird. There's not a lot of I thought this whole bottom would be filled with grease, but it's not. All right, I'll start cutting into this. Now, the weird thing about it is, I'm going to pull this out. The weird thing about this is that you never know where the fat is, and you never know where the bone runs. So you kind of gotta wing it. So I'm gonna.
What do you mean you never know where the fat is and everything? I mean, you know where the fat cap is. You can take that off. True, you can have pockets of fat here and there, but normally if your thermometer is long enough, a good oven thermometer, such as this, is more or less this long, maybe a little shorter, but it has multiple thermometers in it. It's not just one thermometer. There may be 6 or maybe 8. And each thermometer level is checking the different temperatures. And then with the one that I have, I also did a sponsorship for the company. It's a really good company, really good thermometer. That if you want to have an overall temperature of the entire thing, it tells you, and then it also tells you on how much cooking time approximately you have left. But still, if your high-tech thermometer doesn't work, use an analog thermometer. You have to calibrate them by putting them in ice water, putting it down to 0, and then double checking it to make sure it's at 0, and then you can use it.
I know all the fat is burnt on the bottom here. Let's see if I can just cut right across here. I got a big piece here I'm just going to cut right into. Hot, hot, hot. All right.
All right, well, so far, not that bad. I mean, it could cook more. It looks like the meat's not fully cooked because it's not falling apart. Like if you cook meat long enough, slow enough, it will start to disintegrate because you start to break down all the connective tissue, which holds the muscle fibers together, which is what you want. If it's still hard and it's rigid, it's not going to make very good pulled pork.
I don't want to cut it all because I'm going to use those forks. I want to see how those forks work.
Here we go. Moment of truth.
This is what they look like. Meat claws.
Hey, he looks a little bit like Wolverine right now, doesn't he? He has his little meat claws out. That's it. Get in there, Jack. Rip it apart. Rip it apart.
I don't know how to use these.
Yeah.
Kind of like forks or
Ooh. Oh.
Let's try this.
Oh, no. Oh.
I just want to shred it. I just use it in my KitchenAid.
Undercooked. He didn't cook it long enough. Look at this. You need to check the temperature to make sure it's up to temp, but still, it's not fully cooked.
Yeah, these are okay. These aren't bad. I'd rather use a fork.
That's the outer piece. It was at a higher temperature, so you can see how it's falling apart. This means it's cooked, it's good. The centerpiece, not cooked.
Okay, so this is the part where I make the sandwich. I lost the audio on this part of the video. I have no idea. I think my battery's died, but...
The battery died. Yes, this is good. Good save. I would have done the same thing too.
Anyway, I just want to kind of go over how it was made because the meat was so tender, just like I smoked it outside.
Tender means it just falls off the bone. As you could tell, it wasn't falling off the bone. It wasn't even falling apart. It wasn't tender at all. It was undercooked.
King's Hawaiian hamburger bun has a little sweetness to it. And we're going to be using the...
You know what I'm surprised at is that he didn't say that it was good and juicy like he did with the bagged chicken.
Look how juicy it is. Look at the pool of... Look at that. That's great. This did a great job. What? Best hot barbecue sauce you'll ever taste. You can use any barbecue sauce you want. And you always want to put coleslaw on.
You know, this is not looking like a good pulled pork sandwich, and I love pulled pork. This, to me, is not looking like one that I would want to try. Like, honestly, it's not.
You always want to put coleslaw on a good pulled pork sandwich. It just goes together really well. You gotta try it.
What is he doing? And this is industrial. It looks like he just added mayo to this.
This was so tender. It was so amazing. It tasted great that I'm going to be grilling indoors throughout the winter with my new wave oven. And there it is. So I hope you guys try this. It was delicious.
Come on, Jack. You're pulling our legs. You're not going to try it. Like, you're just showing a downward shot of this. You're not going to actually try it. Come on.
I woofed it down, and I had friends over, and they loved it. So I will see you guys on the next episode. You take care.
That was the end of the video. Let me know, guys, what you think down below. Don't forget to subscribe because I told you, I won the bet. It was undercooked. Let me know if you would pay for that because me personally, I would not order that.